note.
Thank you, madam, and very good evening to one and all present in this lecture series organized by Stella Maris Institutions Innovation Council in association with the Department of Civil Engineering. And I'm very glad that we have with our expert, Mr. Rahul Shivakumar. He's a director of Shiv Prema project consultant. He's an expert in that 3D printing technology. And on behalf of our management, chairman, CEO, vice chairman, and director, and all admin team, and all head of the departments, and all the student friends of Stella Maris College of Engineering, I wholeheartedly welcome Mr. Rahul Shivakumar for this program. Next, I would like to welcome all the Stella Marians, particularly the student friends who are given response to our call to be a part of this program. Just a brief about IIC. Last lockdown in 2020, Stella Maris has registered with the IIC as a member. And from that day onwards, we have started conducting programs. And this year, particularly in 2021, we have annexed all the programs to be conducted under IIC. And also, I'm also thankful to the management for giving us the permission to conduct these programs for the benefit of the staff and also the student community. And particularly, and we have created, as per the protocol of IIC, we need to have a Facebook and also the video to be streamlined under the IIC banner so that it is beneficiable not only for the students of Stella Maris College of Engineering, but all the student communities around the globe, whoever want to learn something about what Stella Maris College of Engineering is conducting on behalf of IIC. So we have updated, we have uploaded, and this program is also screened. Any student, just you can inform to your friends also, any student who was missed by chance due to some other personal engagement or due to some other issues, and they can also go through the YouTube link, and then they can go through it. Just inform your friends situated all over, so that the name of Stella Maris College of Engineering also reaches everywhere. I request all the students to actively take part in this kind of program, because during these days, this is the only possibility through which we can improve our learning. So today we have requested Mr. Rahul Shivakumar. He has come forward to give some lecture on 3D printing related to civil engineering. So he will be giving it. So likewise, many experts have come forward. I request everyone, all the Stella Marians, to be a part of this program. So once again, I welcome you all for this program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I welcome Mr. S. Ravi Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, to give the welcome address.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good evening to one and all present here. It is my honor to introduce today's chief guest, Mr. Rahul Shivakumar, Director of Shiva Prema Project Consultant, for the seminar organized by Department of Civil Engineering and Stella Maris College of Engineering in association with Institutions Innovation Council. I would like to introduce today's guest and presenter about few words. Mr. Rahul Shivakumar was started their own company, Shiva Prema Project Consultant, from the year of 2015. Mr. Rahul Shivakumar first innovation started in February 2015 through national level event. He worked and executed 8 day-to-day usable projects. He spilled 3 like foldable motors, scooter cool helmet, license as a vehicle, its patents in intellectual property right, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. He got Young Scientist Award for 3 years, 2015 to 2017. He got Best Innovator Award from Chief Minister of Pondicherry during the year of 2017. So it was published in the Hindu, Dinathanthi, Pudhiya Thalamarai and Talk Medias. It was telecasted in medias Vasant TV twice in 2015 and 2019. These are all the short intro about our today's guest, Mr. Rahul Sivakumar sir. Once again, thank you, one and all. Now the platform is yours, sir. Thank you.
Very good evening
Thank you.
to
Yes, sir. Rahul Shivakumar, sir, you can start, sir.
a very good evening and namaste to one and all present here. I would like to thank Stella Maris College of Engineering and IIC Institute of Innovation Council and Dr. Suresh Pramil Kumar sir for inviting me to nurture the importance of rapid prototyping to the budding students. So I would like to thank head of the department Ravi Kumar sir of civil department and last but not least Rahul sir for giving me and referring me to this particular webinar. So I'm here to address that how important, how majorly it is being important of rapid prototyping, which is nothing but the 3D printing, what we call in a fantasy name in this pandemic time. So you can able to see beside of me two missions. This mission is very commonly known by everyone, which is FDM, and this particular mission is another mission which powers with resin. So what is that 3D printing? So if you take in present days or in current trends, there is anywhere if you go, whichever the engineering or whichever the department you study, there is a word called current trends. So if you figure out that word, the current trends of engineering, everywhere this particular technology will fit. So let me start first with a very famous and very important proverb in Tamil. Okay, it's not a proverb actually; it's a very good statement which which enhance the day-to-day life of a human being. So in Tamil, there is a very good statement called it is with three lines. Okay, which explains the day-to-day life of a human being, which is உண்ண உணவு உடுத்தும் உடை உறங்கும் இடம். So this is the three things which explains or which states that for for the survival of a human being, three major things is being required. Number one is food for for living, and cloth for shelter, cloth for preventing them, and third one is shelter for being safeguarded. So how this particular three thing is going to be highlighted today? So the last one, shelter, where which is being which is being uniquely developed or being fulfilled by one and only evergreen civil engineering. So we all know the structure or the architecture or the construction of whatever the building or whatever the house or residence which can be done only through a civil engineering. So shelter, how good the shelter can be enhanced using this particular technology. So I promise participants for the next 45 minutes or 1 hour, definitely the session will be not boring for you. I will be like keep on giving you a lot many videos so that it never be a boring lecture or boring session for you. Let me start. So first, I would like to start with this particular presentation. So what is this I've used in my presentation? Can anyone? Any of the students? Or can anyone tell me what is the reason that we are all forced or we are all made to undergo this session through online? Can anybody answer me what is the reason that we are attending this webinar through online.
Due to pandemic.
Exactly, due to pandemic. So since government or the world or the globe have restricted us to be, safeguarded, and we have to follow certain social distancing, and we all have to be taken high regard of our health. So during this pandemic, we can't even forget this 1 year. It's been almost 1 year. We are being pushed to be inside the house due to this pandemic. So what is that I'm going to highlight over here? If you could see this 3D printed mask, or the face shield, or N95 mask, or the PPE shield, everybody, or at least at once, they would have been used to this. Definitely you would say yes, sir. What is going to be important in this? So this particular technology we have developed with 3D printing technology. So again, what is the alien thing happened, sir? Even we can do in anything, right? What is the important over here? So the important statement over here is, see, we all know, see, I don't know how many people know this technology. There is a process of the manufacturing technique in mechanical engineering called injection molding. Out of that, for making or developing any mass quantity of production, you can go with that one called injection molding. So people have developed different maskers, or various maskers, like N95 and PPE, different varieties of mask from injection molding. At last, even we will be using that 5 rupees mask from a cloth, or even the surgical mask for 2 rupees. There are n number of varieties out there, because in our country, or in the universe, we have got optional. So that is why we are not being adopted to a particular thing. So if a human sees the optional, he tends to use that one. So I meant to say, so if we have particularly only one mask, we won't be like, our IQ or our mind will not switch to use the different varieties. Since we had got optional, like we have got N95 mask, we have got a layered mask, and we have got a cotton mask, and we have got a surgical mask, so many, right? So what is that? What the core agenda of my presentation? What is it? So since this particular virus is being very brutal, and it has hit the entire globe, people have come up with potential ideas. We can't survive with the only one thing, right? Take for example, we can't say, okay, we can use only with the cotton mask. See, because of that only, it has now raised to that black fungal new varieties of new virus, because of not washing that mask again and again, using the same mask, they have cast into that new virus. So we have to come up with a unique varieties of mask. So during this pandemic, we additive manufacturing or rapid prototyping or 3D printing industry come forward and develop different varieties of mask and safeguarded many people. Yes, we also have shown that we have a potential strength to come up with the mask which would be useful for the people. So out of those masks are shown in this presentation. With this quick, I would like to step into the today's topic. Okay, now it's a quick question. Is that the word 3D printing is the right way of phrasing? Is that the word 3D printing is the right way of phrasing?
No.
May know who have answered? Side of me, the white color machine, which is which is being powered with, or which develops the model or the object by using the resin. Okay, so what is it exactly? If you take this RP process is having three different types. One is solid, liquid, and powder. Under solid, we have got a fused deposition modeling. Under liquid, we have got a SLA, which is beside of me. And under powder, we have got a DMLS, a direct metal laser sintering, and SLS and SLM. Okay, so what is the process chain with this particular rapid prototyping process? So first one, you must develop a CAD model, like how you do in Autodesk or AutoCAD. You have to develop a CAD model and you have to save that in a particular format called tessellation. And then you have to bring it inside the slicing software. Inside that, you have to slice and develop a G code and M code. And then you have to copy that particular G code and M code into the pen drive or a memory card. And then you have to insert it into the machine, either in this resin based machine or in your FDM machine or powder based machine. So it depends upon your utility. So after that, you have to do a post processing. Then you have to consider and you have to validate the project or validate the prototype. If it is need to be tested, you have to test it. After testing, it tends to be the final product. If you see any drawback, the process is being carried out again and again. So this is the process chain of this particular technology. So what is that RP refers to? It refers to a class of technologies, okay, which is helpful to produce a physical object layer by layer directly from a computer aided data without any other input. Just with the computer aided data CAD model, you can able to develop a physical object layer by layer. So what is this actually? What is important or highlighting thing in this? So those tangible prototypes can be easily developed. What is tangible then? Complex shape or the complex models can be easily developed. Okay. All right. So let me start with this video, which is of your department.
So having strong, sturdy walls, having a door that we can close at night, it's something that we take for granted, being able to lock our door and be sometimes even a lifetime. They don't have that opportunity to have a safe shelter. So when they move into a new story community, when they move into a safe home, families' lives are transformed.
So you can able to see a development of a shelter or a house which can be used to develop with just 1/3 of the time taken and within 24 hours. Within 24 hours and with just $4,000. In respect to Indian money, it is just 2,80,000 rupees or 3 lakh rupees. You can able to develop a construction or the safest house without any other investment. All right. So next, it is an automotive industry that if you see this Honda Amaze car in front bonnet and rear bonnet, the inner frame and structure is being developed with additive manufacturing technology. All right. In marine, this is like entire board is being developed with this particular technology. They are stating that for developing a board, it may take a year, but they have developed with 1/3 of the time consumed, and also with the efficient time that they are developing, they have hold a Guinness World Record. In medical, this hope everyone would have been aware of it. Those dentures and root canals and crowns are being developed with this particular technology, and also with those organs are being nowadays replaced with the 3D printed living organisms. So this is something which is in a real time. SpaceX has launched a rocket into the space in the year 2014, Jan 6th, where the inner portion of the valve body of engine is being developed with DMLS, and they have also successful in that mission. This is a real time incident, which is to prove that this particular technology is being very highly challengeable to use in the day-to-day life practices. So have promised that I will be showing you the importance of three things like shelter and cloth and food. Now it's the second one, cloth. So 3D printing in cloth. So by using two things like in combination of polyjet and fabrics, people are nowadays developing a comfortable suit by out of the 3D printing technology. You can able to see the designs which is in the picture shown in this slide. All right. So this is a food industry.
My name is Chloe Russeveld. I'm from the Eindhoven University of Technology. I recently graduated and am now working as food and concept designer. I'm here at the Design Week presenting my project called Edible Growth, which explores how 3D printing could transform the food industry. Edible Growth is about 3D printing with living organisms. You print a structure of seeds and spores and yeast, and from there on it will develop in 3 to 5 days to a fully grown edible. As it comes out of the 3D printer, you can really see the straight lines of the technologies, and as it develops, you can see the organic shape. So by transforming appearance, you can see the stages of growth and the development of taste and flavor. By 3D printing food, you can make the production chain of the food chain very short. The transport will be less, there is less land needed, but it's also you can experiment with new structures. So you can surprise the consumer with new food and things which hasn't been done before. I think it will take at least 8 to 10 years before this can be on the market, because they really have to develop the technologies much further. A lot of people think if products are produced by industrialized production methods, it's unnatural or unhealthy. And I want to show that it doesn't have to be the case, because you can really see that it's natural and it doesn't contain any preservatives, because it doesn't need to be stored or anything. So it will contain everything you need inside. So it's actually really healthy and sustainable also at the same time.
So hope you got to get some idea that living you have to fill the living organism on the nozzle head, and according to the moment of the design which is given into that machine, the machine will develop the model. So even those breast cancers, even that can be curable using this tissue engineering. Whereas you can take this MRI scan, and all those vascular tissues is being developed in the cell cartridges, and then it will be implanted directly for the patient. So first you have to develop a CAD model, and you have to make it as in a wireframe, and depending upon the structure you have to develop it, and you have to be implanted to the patient. All right. And even another varieties of implant. Kid in China have lost his lower mandibular, and using DMLS process, a doctor has developed artificial lower jaw using the titanium alloy, and now a kid can able to survive his day-to-day life easily. So now I will start with this one particular machine called FDM. So the process of this machine are, let me show a video. So how this particular technology will be replaceable with good advantages? So this one we all know, right? In our house, we this shower holder or the flush holder will be easily broke. It will be easily getting broken. So to replace that, we have developed that shower holder and the flush holder with this particular 3D printed one. Now it is being very good, steady, and immune structure. You can able to see the before picture and after picture. And the next one process is called stereolithography, where the parts of this machine are UV laser, mirror, tank, and resin. So let us see the working of this machine.
Stereolithographic model. Stereolithography was actually the first 3D printing technique. 3D printer. This is the Blu-ray laser that actually traces part of the model image onto the surface of a bed of liquid resin. The orange cover blocks ultraviolet lights coming in that then hardens the sliver, and the process starts again as the completed object is slowly lifted out of the resin bath layer by layer. As complicated as that sounds, I checked out an early look at the model at a briefing last month with the Formlabs team, and it's actually a very simple process for the consumer. You just unpack the printer, install the removable print tray, and insert one of the new resin cartridges directly into the machine like you would any ink cartridge on a 2D printer. The new model even adds a touchscreen display for managing print jobs and a Wi-Fi connection that will automatically send progress updates to mobile devices in case you want to step away from the printer for a while, or if you're planning to share it amongst several users. So why stereolithography? Well, one thing is that these printers can add a level of detail that standard fused filament printers can't. And that's what.
So look at those detail participants, those waste spot, how porous it is, with very good output.
Whether you're printing something big or something super tiny like a ring. The ultra high resolution also does a good job at hiding the individual layers of plastic from plain sight. You can barely even see the lattice pattern, which includes the 3D editing software.
All right. So even you can able to see the comparison of FDM and SLA technology. This is how it is being differentiated, and it is being with good finish, where SLA will be with the good finish, where SLS will be with even more good finish with that. And these are all the different varieties of raw material, where standard resin is considered to be for developing any prototypes, and tough resin is meant for using for industrial purpose, and flexible resin is for like developing any flexible prototypes for the job. And for dental castable is like for developing your dentures or for crowns or any bridges, you can easily develop with the dental castable resin. And for dental castable, non-castable is being used for making a plan for undertaking a dental implant surgery. And jewelry castable is for nowadays developing for new like or to tell new collections of jewelry can be easily developed with jewelry castable resin. And jewelry non-castable resins can be like ornaments or to tell like stones, a kind of thing you can easily develop with the jewelry non-castable resin. So this is how the process is. Once the G code and M code is shown, is being saved, that will be shown as shown in the form of light source on inside this DLP plate, and it will be carried out all the way to the lens, and from the lens it will be projected to the photopolymerization resin. From that resin, the build platform will be getting submerged inside the resin tank, and it will start producing layer by layer, layer by layer. This is how it is. Right. So look at the industrial FDM machine. Look at how precision it is. All right. So with this, I would like to stop. So we would like to show that we are arranging for the internships for the students from June 1st to July 18th. So interested students can ping me. Any queries you can ask me.
Students can come with questions if that's. There is a question. There's a question in chat. How civil engineers can make use of 3D printing?
It's so for see, you can develop a structure or any particular area, or if you like, see for this, the best example I would say is in Chennai. If you see, there is a place near to Pallavaram Bridge where all those structures are being prefabricated. You know, they all being developed with a shape or structure where I hope those are the things which will be developed with the help of robotics and this particular technology. For example, if you want to develop a prefabricated fabs, okay, you can develop all kind of designs with the help of this 3D axis machine, and you can develop with your concrete itself.
So, likewise, if I have a doubt,
Yes.
just imagine that if we are designing a building, any architectural building, using
Okay.
CAD, 3D or any 3D softwares and something. So, can we take a 3D print? 3D print. I mean 3D output of what we have designed. For
So you're
example, house.
asking a real-time house, right?
Yes, yes. No, not real-time house. I'm asking a prototype, like prototype of a building.
That is possible, sir. That is possible. That is possible, sir.
So normally, when the construction of multi-storied flats,
Sir, that's why there is another important area called like 3D printing for architectural engineering. It is also having its very good importance in architecture also.
Sir, for one question from my side.
Yes.
So when you say that 3D is applied widely in civil engineering, so it is only in creating a prototype it is possible, or in the real time. So for
Sir,
making
in real time, sir, in real time, if I want to answer with the yes or no question, only now IIT has been started and L&T has been initiated to develop the house using this particular technology.
Okay. Okay.
So in abroad, people have brought into real time. They have been started to bringing it in a real time.
Okay. No, you should in your video you showed about the construction work in Texas.
Yes.
Using 3D printing.
Yes, sir.
So, do you have the full video picture of how it is?
Actually, it's a press release which is being into my in my community, in my association. They have been shared it. Nowhere people will share those kind of things because that's going to be the backbone of their research.
No, so that I think students will be knowing more about how which is the starting point and how finally the structure is made.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now it is purely new for them. They have seen the cement and mixing and making big slabs and everything, RCC structure and everything.
Yes.
So, but even in the marine, they say that conventional type it will take many months, but 3D thing they are making it in a short period.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. For better understanding for the students, so that they will have in their mind, so they can choose this as an area also.
Definitely.
Because nowadays everyone is thinking that this is not my area and this is something else. But nowadays trend is entirely different.
Yes.
So I can, if I develop the spark, I can fix myself in a particular area and get the knowledge and develop my career. So that's what I asked that one.
Sure.
Okay. Students, staff members, any question, anything you want to, so that you can also talk to the students.
Actually, here Sweta has asked a question. Sir, please tell what is the life of 3D printing house. So honestly saying, Sweta, I have not been to this because have seen an article. It is being having a good FOS. FOS is nothing but the factor of safety. It is having a good FOS, but it won't be like standing as equal to your foundation houses, because something that you have been taken with a good foundation and making a pillar and developing a very good structure, that will not be incorporated with the 3D printed house. Definitely there will be a flaw with the 3D printed house with the conventional process during your earthquake or natural disasters.
So for earthquake, this is not suitable, isn't it?
Obviously, sir, because it has to sustain a proper ground, right? So
Yeah.
the conventional process is having a good foundation, so the possibilities are not high in that. But this would be like so something which we have feel and we have been into that particular work. I can promise with the statement. But some of the things myself, even I have been done with the research. I have studied with the research article, so I can't able to conclude and give the 100% answer. So with my perception and with my study, I'm saying that conventional process is a good one than the 3D printed house for the factor of safety. But if I would have been worked in the field, I would have been definitely given a 100% answer.
Sir, I have one doubt. I'm Ravi Kumar.
Yes.
Sir, this is similar like that the prefabricated structures, no, sir.
Yes, sir, yes.
So, but the one of the disadvantage for this prefabricated structure is the space requirement, isn't it, sir? That's why we avoid such kind of structure in India.
Okay.
Then how it is possible? Because the space requirement, the sense if hoisting or assembling everything, we need so much of.
Sir, your answer is
Tell me,
100% correct.
sir.
Like if I am every time whenever I'm crossing, whenever I'm the construction place, there will be always 10, sir, 10 to 15 trailers will be standing in the road with the raw material, as you said, sir. Because it's a mall construction of a mall with the prefabricated fabs. So there'll be always 10 to 15 trailers. Trailers means it will be almost 20 to 25 feet trailers will be standing with the fabs. So that's why, sir, now, but in Chennai, people are not using that prefabricated fabs widely, sir. Only with limited area because of your conclusion. Exactly, sir. Because the space constraint will be more.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. That's why I'm asking.
Exactly, sir. Answer is right. Only
Okay,
if they have a place, they'll be adopting with the technology, sir.
yes, sir,
They're
yes, sir.
undergoing it.
Yes, sir. Okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Paul Emmanuel. Cost is expensive for requirement and for transport. See, then definitely there would be a benefit out of it. How can it? How it is? Because see, if you want to develop certain construction or certain structure with that much of height, you'll be required of lot many bricks and lot many human power and lot many safety precaution has to be made. But if you have a prefabricated fab, it will be only 1/3 of the price will be consumable. The cost will be not involved. No. The best example I can give is, see, you can bring the prefabricated fabs and using the this one, what is that, crane, you can lift it up and you can develop it and you can make the structure fit in the required area and you can finish the job. In this area, I would not say cost is expensive, it is cost efficient only. That's why they are going with that, either in time or cost. Because whatever you do in our life or whatever we do in our day-to-day life, it has to be only with two things: either the cost has to be less or the time is to be less.
So at present, this technology can be implemented where makeshift arrangements are given the first priority. Like suppose the volcano eruption in those areas, they can go for this kind of construction at a cheaper cost.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, even if you would ask me, this particular technology can be incorporated in a place like Saidapet and all. Even if you see, there will be many people are not having their houses. So for them, they can develop this kind of house and they can live their life little safely than of their improper hut and all.
Is there any place in Chennai people can visit and see how these things are made?
Actually, there is not any recordable or powerful thing that this is being initiated in India. This is being only done in abroad, sir. Nowhere in India it is being initiated, sir. Nowhere in India. Only in other countries and abroad people have initiated this process. Only because of the fearness, sir. People are not welcoming this particular process or this technology. They are only fulfilled with the conventional construction process than this particular one.
Hello, sir. I have a doubt.
Yes, sir.
Sir, is there any relation between the CNC machine and this 3D printing?
Sorry, sir.
Is there any relation between the
Exactly,
CNC machine?
Sir, in CNC, where the material will be getting reduced and the G code and M code will be given manually, where we need to give to the machine. But in 3D printing technology, the material will be getting added and the G code and M code will be created automatically with just one click. You don't need to spend or give any of your human effort. This is the basic difference between the CNC and the this one, 3D printing. Relation between 3D printing and CNC machine.
Is there any software included in this 3D printing?
Yes, sir. For working in 3D printing, you must require a slicing software. There are n number of things, but one of the common open source software is called Cura, C-U-R-A. You can use that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So any more questions from students or staff?
I think no question.
So students,
Thank you, sir, for this.
Yeah, you proceed.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful presentation and very informative presentation. Now I request our Assistant Professor, Mrs. S. Indra of our department to propose the vote of thanks.
A very good evening to one and all. I present here on behalf of Stella Maris College of Engineering. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. First of all, I would like to thank our management, Dr. Nastri Solas, founder and chairman, for providing the opportunity to organize in this lecture series. So I extend our thoughtful thanks to the resource person, Mr. Rahul Shiv Prasad, Shiv Prema Project, Chennai, delivered a wonderful speech on rapid prototyping using 3D printing technology. So he explained very detailed about 3D printing technology. It is used in various industries. Thank you very much, sir, for giving a valuable information. Once again, I thank you very much, sir. Next, I would like to thank our administrative team, head of the department, faculty members, and everyone who contributed to the success of today's program. Finally, I would like to thank our participants for this lecture series who made this very successfully. Once again, I thank all for your cordial cooperation. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, feedback link is available in the chat box. Kindly fill it so that the e-certificate will be available in your email after this